So today we're going to have a bit of a siyum, as we said. Because we spoke last week. We're going to continue last week's sikum on Ilchois Ma'aser Beimah. We were speaking about last week. We ended in the who is Chayve Ma'aser Beimah. So we spoke about the Yoresh, Chayve Ma'aser Beimah. We spoke about Koyanim Chayve Ma'aser Beimah. That means Koyanim who yarshent, from let's say Beimah and Gezel Ager. What's going to be the thing? They're part of Ma'aser Beimah, as we said, right? Koyanim who had 10 Beimahs and Gezel Ager. They're part of Ma'aser Beimah. Why? Because Matnos Kohune have a din matone, right? And the Mekabel matone is part of Mina Ma'aser. Yeah? We learned it away from, but we come with Afkuf Yudom and base. The Gemara says of the boy Rove. We learned it also in our. We mentioned it. Boy Rove, Koyanim beGezel Ager Yorshim Avu, or Mekabel matone Avu. And the Gemara says the Nafkemina will be Kegoisha Noflu Loi. Says the Gemara Kegoisha Noflu Loi Eser Beimahs beGezel Ager. The Mechayv Lafu Shemaisim Menayu or Loi. Says the Gemara Yorshim Avu or not. And the Gemara. The Ma'aser, the Gemara understands that they are potul from the Mekabel Matone. Shutfin, or Chayve Ma'aser Beimah, and for example, you said Achim Shekonu Mitfus Habayis, the Firashi, or the ones that are born after the Shutfus, the Fidas Rambam, after the Shutfus, they're going to be Chayve. And one was Me'aser Shaloi Midas Chaveru, what's going to be the din? So it's not going to be Chal B'Ma'aser Bechlal, as there is mashma in many Meforshim. Where do we see it? Because we see that you cannot be Mekadesh half. So when one of the shutfin is Mekadesh, Sheloi Midas, the other one. So even though we say Kocho, Poshtok, Kiddushin, Bekulo, it's not Shaykh on the Chelik of the Shutef. Right? This is the Gemara in Kiddushin of Zayin, where Gemara says that in the Chelko Yishin Shutef, we don't say Poshtok, Kiddushin, Bekulo. When a person himself says, Ragla shul zuoilo, then we'll talk posto kiddushin mekulo, kiddushin mekulo. But in order to be half kodesh, you can't do a ma'aser beimah because ein ma'aser beimah l'chatzoyim is mevor in the Gemara in Erum in Nafnun and the Gemara in Kiddushin Nafnun Aleph and as in the Gemara in Chulin Daf Samach Tes Amud Beis that ma'aser beimah ein oleivorim is brought down in many places. Oh, now let's talk about same thing. Yeah. Let's speak about beimah. Any beimah, there's a sofek. If she's a bas meiser or not bas meiser, it's potur mean a meiser. Right? That's what the Gemara says, based on the Gemara of Metzieh, Daf Zayin Amud Beis. The Gemara dashens asiri vadai, veloi asiri sofek. So anything what we have a sofek is a bas meiser or not. Says the Rambam, lefikoch, shloim, shenis'arev boim yosoim or lakuach, and anything kayotz boim, harei Kulon Peturim, as I the Rambam and Perek Vov, Ilchois Bechoros, Alochet Zayin, and the Makor is from the Tosefta Bechoros. The Malbusha Yomtev has a very interesting thing. The Malbusha Yomtev in Dinei Breira and Simen Yutes has that even though, what about Lakuach? Lakuach is part of an Amaisa. What about the Din Sofek Lakuach? There's also going to be Sofek Min Amaisa. Ober, there's a chiluk between a Ptur of is a Ptoras Vadai and a Ptur B'Toras Sofek. What's the difference? He says, if it happened, for example, if it happened that it went out in the middle of the counting, middle of the minyan, if it's a vaday lokuach, so you're not machshivet b'chlal in the minyan, and how you're machshivet, keilu, it's garnish, it's not b'toras meiser, it's a lokuach. And what's going to be the din? The 11th one is going to be kodesh b'toras vaday, because this is a vaday lokuach. Or b'sofek lokuach, zog the Malbusha Yontev. So even though that you don't bring it into the deal isasa, misofek, but what if it was in the deal, and I went out with the counting aleph beis gimel daled, and it came out of sofek lokuach, so it's going to be mekalkel the minyan, it's going to destroy the minyan because now you had over there sofek lokuach because it's a sofek. If the asiri, if it's a bar chiyuve, the asiri is kodesh, and if it's not a bar chiyuve, the 11 was going to be kodesh. And if you them, it says the Malbusha Yomtev is going to be enough kemine a vada lokuach and sofek lokuach. That's kind of doctor. Very interesting thing. Oh, yeah, was doctor.
It's different from personality or
Oh, so that I didn't understand. That's my question. If I was mechaven to Rabbi Joseph's question, I didn't understand one thing over here. Once the Torah was megale, asiri vadai v'la asiri sofek. What the pshat? The Torah tells me that this is betoras vadai, right? The Torah tells me asiri vadai v'la asiri sofek. So this is up to. So it's a suffix lekoach. So it's a vada lekoach. Why the Malbusha Yonta tells me that there can be a suffix between, a difference between a suffix lekoach with a vada lekoach. Once the Torah tells me, it's for sure patur, right? If it counts together with the others, for sure it's going to be a calcul dominion, and the 11th one is going to be kodesh. Why should there be a difference? He doesn't bring a difference. Oh, but yeah, that's the shadow you ask. Yeah. Okay. Suffix lekoach, yeah. Yeah. Oh, so now let's speak about it. What about the suffix the dina? Some say that it's misasa misafek, but the Achronim prove that it's not misasa. What do I mean? The Shara Melech and Ilchos Gerushin, we mentioned it. The Shara Melech and Ilchos Gerushin in Perek Gimel Ol Chadaled. Rabbi Kiva speaks about it and Git in Afrofei. He learns it out from Toises that we don't say Asiri Vadai v'lo Asiri Sofek only in a Sofek Metzias. But in a Sofek Dina, we don't say Asiri Vadai v'lo Asiri Sofek, and we prove that from the Gemara, right? We prove that in the Gemara. But in the Achronim, the Malbusha Yomtev and Kuntas Breire, the Avnei Nezer and Avnei Nezer Simon Chof, they being that actually, we mentioned it also when we were learning, we mentioned also Sameach and Ilchos Bikurim in Perek Yud Aleph, and the Chazon Ish and Simon Chof Zayin, brings down that the Gemara by us, the Gemara Daf Nun Ches on the base, the Gemara says that Haboim Mikoyach Sofek or Elulim, right? We had the Elulim, we had the Sofek, so it's a Sfeik the Dina, because we don't know if the halacha is Aleph, Tishrei, or Aleph Elul. This is a suffix the Dina, right? Suffix Dina, that's a classic suffix Dina. And what we said over there, it's patur because Asiri Vada, Asiri Suffix, and steht in Gemara, Daf Nun Ches on the base. Say the Achronim, nicht as I learned in Toises, the Rishonim Achronim, the Shara Melech, and Rabbi Kiva, they learn that Sfeik the Dina will be also Miter Asiri Vada, Asiri Suffix. This will be Asiri Vada, Asiri Suffix, Afilo, because we find by Suffix Elulim that they are suffix the dina and they are patur. Oh, so what that means? So you can mechalek zayin. They are good. You can mechalek zayin. It's a suffix in the beim or suffix, but the asiri vada v'la asiri suffix it's always going back to the beim. It's always going back to the beim. Okay, we can machna ganze chabura wegen them. Again, we just bringing the touch. You could write down the kudas and then we could for the next 7 years speak about it. In the Achronim we find that if Roiv is Chayv Meiser, it's going to be Potul. Why? Because Roiv is also considered a suffix, and the same thing is going to be also Spek Spek. By Spek Spek, the Minchas Chinuch means the Shin Samach Ois Yud. By Spek Spek also we say Asiri Vadai velo Asiri Suffix. Let's talk about. So we spoke about it in one of the shurim. We said that Asiri Vadai, Mamzer Vadai. And from here, the Rambam and the Rashba, they both bring a riot. Each one brings a riot to himself. Right? The Rambam brings the suffix the rice the chumre is only mid the Rabban and the chumre. The Rashba brings the suffix the rice the chumre mid the rice the chumre. Right? The Rashba na in Gimel and Kiddushin and Teras Habayis. They both bring a riot from where? From Mamzer Vadai. Why they don't bring a riot from Asiri Vadai? Without Asiri suffix. We spoke about Bariches and Elul, not so long ago. This year, yeah, I mean, just the time. Okay, let's speak about how exactly is done the Meiser. Bekitzur, Kitzur Advori, Keitzad Maaser. So he gathers the tzoin into the deal. He does a small opening that they shouldn't go in one by one. Mishnah and Daf Nun Ches on with base, and the reason is because we have a chashash they shouldn't go out Shnaim, because if they go out Shnaim, the Chi or Basiri, as we said, they're going to be Mekul Kolim, as we call it. He takes them out. How he takes them out? Ma'amid imoiseyen, right? He puts the mothers bachutz, and the mothers goyois, you don't know, and the tloim, the kids, they go out towards the thing. It's the Gemara, the Brisa, what's brought on the Gemara on Chesamot base. He shouldn't take it out beyad. Why? State in the Torah, kol asher ya'avor velo ish yaviru. Yeah, that's also the Gemara. And the Gemara fact, you should take them out by throwing a vegetable, right? Bachut, and they're going to go out to eat the vegetable. So the Gemara, and they do the imo is tafke because gzeira mishum yosem or mishum lokuach. Because if this sheep is going to be a yosem or a lokuach, so there's no mother, they're going to know the difference. And even though Rashi brings down over there that even though there is some sheep that have a mother and the mechuyev a meiser, for example, that the mothers died after the later. Right, Yosem can't be Yosem Loel Mayad, right? Elamai, be'emes, they take it out on Yedei Yerek. So sometimes we do take out on Yedei Yerek. Sometimes we do take out on Yedei Yerek. And Mamid was saying together with the rest. He counts them Beshevet. What means the Shevet? With the stick, right? The state in the passage of the Chukoisai, Kolasho Yaver, Tachas HaShevet, and the Mishnah in the From Chesam base, Umoinin Bashevet, Rashi, Ala Toire, what's brought down, we're going to see that word. It's mashma that the Shevet was only for the 10th one. And there's mashma Rashi in Ala Toire. Yaver, Tachas HaShevet. So the Shevet is only for the 10th one, or actually he counts each one with a Shevet, with a stick. So the Mishnah is mashma actually that each one is the Mishnah is mashma each one is moine b'shevet. And Rashi al Torah is mashma that only the 10th one. So let's do a connection. We're starting with Masechet next week to learn Masechet Nazir. There's a Nazir daf lamed aleph on the base. The Gemara sagt das. You didn't get the Achon in lamed aleph, no? No, the Chayganish. Okay. The Gemara says Uma iluto veiniach es hashevet ala shemini. The Shevet al Hashmini? The Shevet al Hashmini? The Lechoyer is a raya, not like Rashi al Torah. There's a raya that each one you count the Shevet. We won't talk about Toys. Actually, we mentioned it now in Daf Samach Aleph, and the Toys mentions that Gemara in Nazir. So, Ma'im iniach, Ma'im tov, iniach is a Shevet al Hashmini. So, Lechoyer, you see that word, that he puts the Shevet on the one that he wants to call it Asiri. No, Lechoyer, each one that he wants to call the Asiri. Yeah. Okay. Doesn't have to. Yeah. So he says Aleph, Beis, Gimel, Dalet, right? And the Mishnah says that he has to count each one when it goes out. He has to count it. And the 10th one, Soikroi Besikre, and he says Hareze Meiser. Sikre is a red mark, as Rashi says in Chagiga Daf Ches Amud Aleph. 1 second, just finished. And the Shevet was Savua with the Sikre. The 10th one that comes out, as Rashi in Xavier Bayos, and also Rashi, the 10th one had the Sikre on it, and that one he says. Yeah. The Gemara Poshet talks about toys. The Gemara says, oh, very good. So the Nechoire, he touched the 10, but how could he have the toys on? He touched the 10, yeah. Chazoni sagt das Wort. Chazoni sagt das Wort, yeah. Chazoni ist in Simon Chazayis in Kopf Ches. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so that's the Rashi al. What about the bracha on Meiser Be'ima? Bracha on Meiser Be'ima. Do we make a bracha on Meiser Be'ima or not? So the Mishnah, if he tells Yisrael brings in the last Meiser Be'ima, Mishnah Zion, he brings that in Oismem Ches, he brings that Poshut, he says. Poshut, the Koidem Sesoyker Besikre, Mevorech, he does a bracha, Asher Kizitzorim, Yisrael Yitzivonu Lehafrish Meiser. Ze sagt Huh? Oh, and he does it at first or not? So when is the bracha? The bracha is in the beginning. The bracha is not in the end. That's right. We spoke about it. That's right. Yes. No. Remember? Yes. So we spoke about it. If you make the bracha in the beginning or you make the bracha in the end. Because if the mitzvah is in the end, the mitzvah is from the beginning. From the beginning of the approach is the thing. Or the mitzvah itself, okay, it's a mitzvah nimsheches. It's a thing. Okay. You shouldn't be mechaven that the 10th one should be a balmum. Even that also the balmum is going to be kodesh, as we spoke last week. You shouldn't be mechaven. Why? Because it says, Lo yevaker bein toiv loro. Mishnah brings it down. And some say, afilu, if he's not a balmum, you shouldn't be mechaven that to take out a certain sheep, even though he's not a balmum, right? We learned it twice. We learned it in daf choyres, daf lamed vav amud beis, and also daf nun gimel amud beis. Right? The Gemara says, "V'chi teimed the mapi klei." That means the balmum. If he takes out the balmum, bereish asoro, and for the Gemara, lo yavaker ben toiv lo rachamone. You see that you shouldn't take out any mum. Oh, but the Rambam. We spoke about this Rambam. The Rambam and Smag, many other Moina mitzvahs, they didn't count this love of Lo Yevaka Ben Toiv Lavo. Why? It looks like that they've gotten there is no love. The Lo Yevaka Ben Toiv Lavo is not a love. What's the pshat in it? So the Rashbet in Zohar Rokia, Rashbet and Sorakia in Mitzvah Sloisa say Ois Nun Gimel. So he says that he says that the love of Lo Yevaker Mitoy Loro is not counted in Minyan Mitzvahs. Why? Because it brings Yerushalmi. Yerushalmi Rosh Hashanah in Perik Aleph Halacha Aleph, more brings over there about Lo Yevaker Bein Toiv Loro. What about, it says the Yerushalmi, Over Ubiker? Over Ubiker. Mao Sheyaver. What means Mao Sheyaver? Sheyaver on the love of Lo Yevaker. Says the Yerushalmi over there, Omar Lei, Kol Dovo, anything, Shebo Lehatir Eino Oiver. Was kommt das Matir sein? Oh, was kommt das Matir sein? Over here, the Torah was Matir to be Magdish Balei Mumin. Look at the Yerushalmi. The Torah was Matir to be Magdish Balei Mumin. Ad kan is the Yerushalmi. That means, even in the rest of the Kochim, you're not allowed to be Magdish Balmum. Over here, the Torah was Matir that if the 10th one comes out Balmum, Asiri Yekoidesh. Because we need to be Matir, it doesn't come to Asa. So we see from over here, it says the Rashbetz and Zerakia, and he's talking love. Yes. Oh, so this is, we can go into this again. Every word of it could be a ganze chabura, but there is Reb Yeruchem Perlo. Reb Yeruchem Perlo takes the Zerakia from our Gemara. Why? Because our Gemara in the Bavli out Nisha Zev Yerushalmi. Just what? There's a Isa Ole Yevaker, the Gemara in Lamed Vov, and the Gemara in Nun Gimel on base. So you say, so why they didn't count it? Why they didn't count it as a factor? Yeah. Menon Revutzim, or yeah, okay. Says Rashi about Menom Revutzim, and Rashi in Nun Chesam base, Rashi says the same thing. Venoitel, right? So Rashi says that if Menom Revutzim or Oimdim, even without the Avor Pesach, is no, in this case, there's no Isur Lo Yevaker, and then he actually could decide which one he wants. So there is a case that definitely he's not going to be over on Lo Yevaker. If he Rashi in Nun Chesam base, he's definitely not going to be over on Lo Yevaker. The Isur Lo Yevaker is Dafke when he wants to take out Dafke, right? Rashi says over there, he wants to take out Dafke from the Elulim. Even the non-Balei Mumin, right? Rashi legabi the Elulim. But Tosis understands over there that the word there is no Isur Lo Yevaker, and why? Because it's not. Yeah, only Balei Mumin and not Balei Mumin. Yeah, Rashi understands that there's no Lo Yevaker and anyone. Legabi the Elulim, Rashi says no, it's also Lo Yevaker. Tosis understands no, Lo Yevaker is only being Toiv Lara. Only being Toiv Lara, then it's going to be Lo Yevaker.
To be the same.
What if he didn't count it b'shevet? What if he didn't count? He didn't do a soikri b'sikre. It's not me'akev, and it's going to be gimaisert, right? It's going to be gimaisert, and Mishnah Bechoros after Ches. What if, yeah, the same thing, what we said, Menom Revutzim or thing, it's also going to be gimaisert, as the Gemara says over there, right? We saw if he counted half in the deer and half went out by itself, it's also going to be Meusar, as we mentioned the Chazon Ish. And if he didn't count it Bechlal, just what? He had 10 sheep and he took one of them, or he had 100, he took one of them, but that's going to be, no, that's not Meiser. It's again, it's Machloikes, again, we're going to mention, it's Machloikes Tanakam and Rav Yosef Bar Yehuda. But the Rambam Paskins in Perek Zayin, Ichus Choyos Alocha Aleph, like Tanakame, that it's not Meiser. Ein ze Meiser, that means if it was, he didn't do accounting. He has 100 behemoths. He just 10. These 10 should be for Meiser. He has 10. He took one. So it's a machloikis, right? We saw machloikis in the Gemara. Tanakame with Rabbi Yosef Bar Yehuda. The Rambam passing the Perek Zayin Aloch Aleph that like Tanakame that it's not called Meiser. What if a person counted in machshava? Is it Meiser or not Meiser? So in this, the Chazon Ish says, and Simon of Zayin, that if he counted the machshava below dibur, it is Meiser. That means even if he counted Revutzim or Yoimdi b'machshava, it's still going to be Meiser. Again, there's a way to, you can't draft none of them. Machshava. What if they went out with Petach, through the Petach, one after the other one, but he didn't count Bechlal? Oh, well, that we, yeah. Sfira Soima, we say it's differently. Machshava is not called a Sfira. And that's what we said. If it's a, but over here, Meil of Kodesh. Let's not forget. Is it din of a minyan or Berechet Meil of Kodesh? Whatever they went out of Petach Zachar Zen, he didn't count it Bechlal. Some say that Asiri is Meiser and some the Sigi. What the pshat? Yeah. Yeah, so let's say there's this. The person had a Pesach, and they're walking out. He didn't count. Now, Asir is going to be Kodesh or not? So the Rasha says, over there about the Gemara speaks Lo Yimenom B'Shevet. So he says that if he didn't count it Bechlal, it's not going to be Maisa. But that's Dafke when they didn't go through the Petach. But if they went through the Petach one after the other one, this itself is a minyan. And what we know, Asiri, that if it went out of the dir, and he didn't call it Hashem Asiri, right? Or even the ninth one is going to be Azay Zokter, and he proves it from the Gemara, what we learned in Daf Samach, what we learned in the Gemara. The Gemara says, Menon Zugois. So the Gemara brings Rav Kahane. Rav Kahane says that the minyan be'ema is Kodesh. Right? We count the minyan be'ema, Lefi his counting, it's going to be Kodesh. So what do you see? That even he counted it a different counting, it counts as Lefi the Yetzia, Lefi what they went out. So for sure, when he didn't count it Bechlal, it's going to work that it's going to be Kodesh. As a doctor. No, he didn't have any machshove. He put inside 10, he sat it aside, he fell asleep. They went out. Now you know what walked out the 10th one. He had a CCTV, he saw the 10th one went. No, he put him in the Dirli Sasser, and he fell asleep. I tell you, he brings the Raya, I can tell you a different thing. He brings the Raya from the Rambam. Oh, it's not miracle. If he didn't make a mocha. I can tell you, he proves it on the Rambam. The Rambam says in Nichos Bechoros, and Perek Ches Halacha Zayin. Says the Rambam, what if he counted lemafreya? For example, the first one he says Asora. The second one he says Tisha. Harei ze Kodesh, zok the Rambam. Harei ze Kodesh. Why? She'asiri male of Kodesh, says the Rashash. What we see from over here, that even though he counted a different type of counting, the Behemoth would go out, the 10th one, that he counted as one, is going to be. So Kodesh came when he didn't count Bechal. This is the Machshava of Chiz. As I told the Rashash says this is the Kodesh King. Kodesh King Shaloi Monor Klal. Yeah. Oh, so what you're saying, all of this what you're saying is the Chavetz Chaim. Chavetz Chaim in Likutei Aloches, all of these stories he brings down, the Chavetz Chaim in Likutei Aloches, in Daf Samach, and in Mishpat over there, in Oy Zayin, he brings the Rashash, and he disagrees on the Rashash. He says it's not Muchach, because he brings also the Rambam in Perek Zayin. He says in the end of Aloche Aleph, in the Rambam, he says over there that Menon Revutzim, or Oimdim, Shalo Yotzu Pesach, that the Rambam says they're not Kodesh. Okay, so that's again, you can frag because of that they didn't go after the Pesach. The Rashash speaks Dafke when they went after the Pesach. Okay, so as we said, if you counted lemafreya, as the Rambam says, so it's going to work, right? It's going to be myself. And why? Because Asiri Me'elov Kodesh. That's the thing. We learn out Asiri Me'elov Kodesh. The one that went out, the 10th one, is Me'elov Kodesh. And I feel if he didn't call it Asiri, it becomes Kodesh. And I feel if he called it Chi, if it's really the Asiri, or he called it 11th, it's also going to be Kodesh. Again, we get a lot of problems when he done that. What if he had 10 sheep, and it came out 9, and one was left in the deal? Yeah. This is Miskadesh Afilu before it went out. Right? You remember this? The Gemara Bechoros, the afternoon test, a member of Rove. And the Gemara says that the Iker member of Rove is the teacher that is Miskadesh Afilu in the deal without the Yetzir, right? And the Gemara brings the Tanya Nami Ocher, Braisa, Raya, Rove, for this din, and that's the Chiddush. The Chiddush is that Afilu didn't go out to the Pesach. If it was more than 10, and he counted 9, and is left over there, let's say 2 or 3 or more in the deal, that they didn't become Kodesh, Me'elov. So what's going to be the deal? So then, the 10th one, you don't know what's the 10th one. So you wait till the next one is going to come out, and then it's going to be Miskadesh B'Tziosai. And this is what we learned. Dosameach, anything what the Gemara says over there, Rove says over there, that it's left, and that's only when the last one was left. Right? If it's only one, but let's say you put into the deal only 10 tloim. So then you have a biur, it's mevurah, which one is the Asiri. But if it was left over there a lot in the deal, it's not mevurah, which one is the Asiri, it's not Miskadesh Me'elov, till the other ones are going to be in the Pesach. And the din of Asiri Me'elov, we have 2 dinim in Asiri Me'elov. One thing that was when it's left, the 10th one in the deer is Kodesh Meilov, even without coming out through the Pesach, without the Yetzias of Pesach. And the second one, what we learn, that when we have more than 10 in the deer, that's Miskadosh Meilov, the Yetzias of Pesach, without calling it the Shem Asiri. In Nasir Meilov, we have two different dinim, as we just spoke now and also before. Yeah, the Mavua. Now, because we said that Asiri went out, it's Kodesh. When it goes out, Roishe ve'ruboy. Once it's Roishe ve'ruboy, as the Gemara says in Daf Samach Omed Beis, Mayos, that the Gemara says Ocher Ma'askine, going the Kodim Chad ve'apik lereisha, and then he went back. So what do you see from there? That when does he become Kodesh? We saw the Toises and Pura. When does he become Kodesh? Roishe ve'ruboy. Right? This is the lashon of the the Tosefte, the lashon of Tosefte is mevur lechoyer roishe ve'ruboy, and also Tosefte and Choyer, and Perek Zayin Halacha Zayin, and the Rambam brings it down. Yeah, the Rambam, the Gemara says roishe. The Rambam, I think, says roishe ve'ruboy. Right? You remember the Rambam? Perek Ches Halacha Yud Beis. Yeah. Rambam, I think the Rambam says Roishe ve'ruboy. Rambam Perek Ches Halacha Yud Beis. Oh, Rav Joseph is going to read out the Rambam. Ilchos Bechoros, Perek Ches Halacha Yud Beis. From that Rambam Agav is mashma also that Rambam is talking about the rest of the menuim, not dafka the Asiri. Oh, what is it? O yomoyne ve'oitzi atol leroish ve'ruboy, areyu kemonui. Oh, so the Rambam, there's two things you can learn. First of all, roish ve'ruboy. Another thing that will pass then the Gemara dafka legabe the Asiri. We see in the Rambam, that's not only the Asiri. Each and one, each and one of them is a din of Rosh Hashanah. Each and one of them. All of them annoying. All of them annoying, not after the thing. What if the mute one? By Mila? Yeah. What do you mean?
You got twins, yeah?
Yes.
He sticks his head out.
Who's the first one?
Yeah.
When Gabi Bechoros, we learned. Yalut. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Padachti. Most is Padachti, the forward. Yeah, corresponding the Gabi Bechoros.
Yeah.
Okay. What if he said on the Asiri, he says, let's say, Chetzi Maisel. So as we said beforehand, there's no Kiddushin Lachatzoin. Right? There's no Kiddushin Lachatzoin. We mentioned that in the Gemara in Kiddushin Nun Aleph and the Gemara in Eivov in Daf Nun, the Gemara says the Maisel Beime is less Kiddushin Lachatzoin. It's not just a thing Kiddushin Lachatzoin. The Gemara explains over there, yeah. The Gemara explains over there in Eivovin, because if he said Chatzi Tole, yeah, and Chatzi Maisel. Chatzi Tole Chulin and Chatzi Tole Maisel. What's going to be the din? It says the Gemara, Loi Omar Klum Li Kodesh Lachatzoin. Oh, why? Because Kol Asher Yavor Tachas HaShevet HaAsiri Yekodesh. The Torah says. Why? Because so this is very interesting. The Ritva there in Eivovin, the Ritva says, Asiri Sholem Orachamone. Chazal Limud. Asiri Sholem Orachamone. So what means Ein Kedusha Lachatzoin? That means it's not Miskadesh Bechlal, or it's not Miskadesh Legamrei. Huh? Oh, so no, so we don't say Poshto Kiddush in Kiddusha Bekula, like the Gemara says in Kiddush in Avov. No, not Shutfin. Before we spoke about Shutfin, I was speaking about not to shoot. If a person says, Harei Zachetzi Maisa. No, so let's say he didn't, when he's counting, it says Harei Maisa. And he's counting. He's counting them. Echod, yeah. No melo. So Rashi is mashma lo yomar klum. And his mashma is not bechlal kodesh.
He didn't say anything.
No, he depends. He's saying it. He's saying it.
Because we didn't say anything, it's also good.
Yeah, there's a. I think there's a. No, I can't. I don't think it's. But anyway, the Meiri sagt das so. When the Meiri speaks about this, the Meiri sagt das so. Over there in Kiddushin, Daf Mem Aleph, the Meiri sagt das so. That Kitchol Chatzoin, he says lo yomar klum, lo yomar klum. Says the Meiri that what was the case? He says Azoy. He counted 9. And then came out 2 together. After he counted 9, came out 2 together. And he says each and one of them, half of it should be a kodesh. Half of it should be kodesh. And that's what the Meiri says. So there is no kedusha bechlal because there's no kedusha lachatzai. That's the case. Again, we spoke about the Shalat Tzamtzem when it came out 2 together, yeah? So we don't have a problem with Shalat Tzamtzem. But yeah. So you see, in that case, let's say the case of the Meiri. Now we have to understand, Zarav Jalowski asked, why we don't say fakert? Why you say it's nothing? We should say pashto, kedusha, bekula, like we always say. Oh, so Pasha's going to say, oh, you know why? Because when it could be chal kedusha lachatzoin, then you say pashto. Mashenk in a meiser, there's no kedusha lachatzoin, so you can't be meichel kedusha bechlal. That's not true because we remember the Gemara Tomorrow, Daf Yud, right? The Mishnah Kiddushin being said down. That's what? That pashto we say also legabe Tomorrow, kedusha isha. Even if it's not shaykh Tomorrow lachatzoin, it's not shaykh kedusha isha lachatzoin, but we do say pashto. So what's the pshat? Taka, what's the pshat that we don't say pashto? I think it's much more pashut. It's much more pashut. Pashto kedusha mekulo, or pashto kedusha mekulo, we say when hegdish. I'm magdish. Ma'aser beime, I'm not a magdish. I'm counting. The Torah is mekadeshet. When it comes out, the 10th one comes out of the Pesach, so Asiri, right? It's Kodesh not because of myself, it's Kodesh because the Yitzhiyah, Meil of a Kodesh. So when I call it Asiri, it's Asiri because the counting, Meil, it's Miskadesh. And there we don't say, Pashto Kedusha Kulo. Yeah, you agree to this?
I was going to say that how do we let a trigger of that? It doesn't work out.
I'm not sure. You know what? Because I don't want really to go into this because sure over here we can speak about Gansadas, but just occurred to me there is the Gemara Nishtazai. The Gemara says Azai. By the Gemara Azai. Omar Abaye. Agol Moidim. I'm reading from Masechet Temure, Chavav and Beis, Ketzad Ma'arimin. Hakol Moedim, Eichad Omar, Chetzio Oilo, Chetzio Meiser Diva Hakol Oilo. Right? You mark it with Zoilo, Oilo Krevo, Eichad Omar, Chetzio Temuro, Chetzio Meiser, Mai. Temura Krevo, Sheken is Bechol HaKotzim, Oidim Meiser Krevo, Sheken Magdish Afon Ula Apol, Teiko. Fusha Gemara. Ame Fusha Gemara. The Gemara tells us, Eichad Omar, Chetzio Temuro, Chetzio Meiser Mai. By the Gemara, Temuro Krevo Favos. Well, Oidil me Meiser Krevo. So what do we see over here? That when a person says Chetzio Meiser, it's the Chaguta Amire. Chaguta Amire. And Pashto Kedusha Bekulo. Only way he said Chetzio Temuro, we have a Soveg. Which one is Chal? But what we see that when we say Meiser Posto Bekule Meiser Beima. Mazoi, what's the din? Why we say that Meiser Beima is no by Chatzoin? Why shouldn't be Chala Chatzoin? Kulei Kodesh. One Beima, yes. No, but we talk about the Gidang, yeah, the Gemara in Eirubi, and the Gemara in Kiddushin. The Gemara says, in both the cases, there's no Meiser Chatzoin. What's the pshat of it? That there's Meiser Chatzoin. Yeah.
Take a pen of student and say, I'm not with this as well.
Yeah. So when you stop your Magdish, okay, yeah. Tamura. The Gemara says, Tamura and thing, because again, we're going back to Tamura, the Gemara Daf Yud, yeah. The Gemara says over there, it's a Machlokes Tanoim. If a person done Tamura of Eivorim, Chal the Tamura or not? Right? So Rashi says, Poston, one Eiver, right? The Tanakama says that there's no Chal the Tamura, and it's not going to help because we don't know Ba Behema, right? Ba Behema, we learn out Ba Behema, Meiser Behema. Meiser Behema. Okay, this is a noise. What about Menon Zugos? Or let's say not Zugos, triple. Or 5-5. It's Mekadesh every 10th group. Right? It's Mekadesh every 10th group, as the Gemara says in Daf Samach. The Gemara says, Omar Rabbi Yochanan Menon Zugos. Sasir leminyan who Kodesh. The Machlokes Amoraim over there. Mori says that minyan shelo yu Kodesh. Rav Kahana says leminyan be'eim yisu Kodesh. Right? And the Chazon Ish explains what's the Machlokes over there. The Mori says you could count 2 minyonim. That's 2 minyonim ke'echad is one go, and the first 2, one of them is the minyan rishon, and the second one is the minyan sheni. Until the end of the minyan, you mekadesh every right the 2 asirim you mekadesh. Right, one for this minyan, one for that minyan. Rav Kahana says no, you can't count 2 minyanim in one go. Just every behemoth goes out for that minyan is going to be kosher. How we paskin? The Rambam paskin and Ilchos Meiser, Periches, and Ilchos Meiser. Aloha paskin like leminyan shelo yihu kodesh. And they paskin the Rambam. We have to understand why target. There's a choiknosim about this. Yeah. If he's going to do it that way, yeah. Yeah. The Gemara says 19. Yeah. What if it went out Shnaim Keachas? Shnaim Keachas. They went out the 6th and the 7th. Or the first one and the second one went out together, right? He counts it as 2. So it's Keilu, they went out, Bezeh, Achar Zeh, as I the Mishnah, right? The Mishnah in Zav Samach Amud Aleph, the Gemara says, Yotzu Shnayim Ke'achas, Moine Oison, Shnayim, is the Girsa of the Shidam Kubetz, is the Girsa of the Toises, and the Gemara. Oh, but if they went, the first one and the second one went out as one go, so he counts all of them as Zugos, and then he's Mekadesh, the 10th Zug. Right? So if the difference, which one is going to come out together? The difference, which one is going to come out together? You have already a thing. You have already the Zoom. Yeah.
There wasn't. It's like having 9 days. You can't start.
The Rambam says in the Fush.
How would you count when you say that? Yeah, but how you don't count at all then? You just take 2 on separate.
The Rambam says, and Perek Ches Aloch Hei, the Lashon Rambam is, he tchil limnois. When he started the count, v'yotzu tchilo shenaim, shehem rishon v'sheni, says the Rambam, he's continue arei ze moin lechol zug v'zug, u'mekadesh ha'asiri. And then the Rambam, there's a difference between if he started the count or he finished the count. Yeah. Now, the Chi and Asiri, they're going to be what we call Mekul Kolim, right? We always know that Chi and Asiri is Mekul Kolim. If they came out Shnai Kachas, and he counted it as 1. Yes, if he counted as 1, it's going to be Mekul Kolim. Again, what's Mekul Kolim, as we said, right? The Mishnah says, Menom right? He counted Chi and Asiri, Mekulkolim. That means, for example, they went out the first and the second, and he counted as one. And then the one that came after that, he counted 3, and then 4. Now, the first two, yeah, they counted as 2. Now, the next one is counted as the third, right? So what's going to be the din? Now, even if the Rambam, yeah, you should have counted it as Zugas, but you didn't. The 9th one should be really the 10th, because you said 1, 2, 3. The 1 has 2 in it, right? The first 2 came out together, and you counted as 1. So the 9th one is really the 10th. So the Asiri is really the 11th. So it's Keilu, he's calling the Asiri Chi and Lachados or Asiri. The Mekul Kolim. Fragging the Rishonim, why the Mekul Kolim? Why the Mekul Kolim? We should say that the Asiri is Mikrav Maisa. The 11th one is like a Shlomim, like every din of Koil Asiri Chi and Yudalef Asiri. What's the din? Oh, so Rashi. Oh, Rashi, very good. What Rashi says? Rashi in the first pshat says that Mekul Kolim means that if he's not going to be Nimlach and Bezdin. Oh, so he's not going to be Nimlach and Bezdin. And he's going to think that what the Chi for his counting is the Chi Ve'asiri, the Chi Ve'asiri for his counting. So then it's going to be the Asiri, and it's going to be Moitzi the Asiri Lechulin, and the 11th one is going to be Makif for Maisa. Lefize, if he knows that the thing, they're not going to be Mekulkol. Oh, second pshat in Rashi says that what? It's not Chalal the Mokdusha to be Nikrav, just what? Mecholim be Mumon. That even Bederech Klal, if he calls the Asiri Chi and the Achadas of Asiri, the Asiri is Nikrav Meiser and the 11th one is Nikrav Shlomim, that's only when he didn't have a mistake. Just, he had a mistake from Chi and Weiter. But over here, the whole minyan was a mistake. Because it came out the first 2. That's why it's going to be a difference between the 2. Okay, this is also as we saw Toises, the Rambam thing. What if he would count and he stopped? Why? Because his friend spoke to him and he's busy, and there's the Toisefte Bings and the Toisefte Bechoros and Perek Zayin and Loch Zayin. He speaks about Choshei Cholei Shabbos. I mean, it was Erev Shabbos and it became a thing. So it says that Toisefte, he could be mashlim the minyan after that. Wherever he stopped, he's being mashlim. It doesn't have to be Vasachas. Doesn't have to be Vasachas. So he could have a second. If he does the bracha, as we spoke about, what's going to be the din then? If he's going to have to do the bracha in the beginning or the end. Also he passed on the Rambam passed on Perek Ches, Halacha Yud Gimel, that if he was counting, Ubo Chaveiroi, and he started to speak to him, so he's going to be thinking. Yeah. We had another very famous din, what Omar Rove, the Gemara New Testament base, Omar Rove, Minyan Haroi Poiter. Minyan Haroi Poiter. And afilo, if you're not Mekadesh the Asiri, the end, Ober, the ones that were counted when it was Roy Lemaiser, became Potter. We learned that from it says, that means, what's the case? He had 10 sheep, and he put it into the deal, and he counted 8. He counted 8, and then one of them died. I mean, one of them died, the one that was from the left ones, inside. Or it went out from a different petach. Different one. So it was not Miskalish B'Asiri. All of them were Potter. Why? Because when he counted them, there was a minyan aroi for Meiser. Because of a minyan aroi Meiser, minyan aroi Poiter. We mentioned the very interesting Rabbeinu Hananel in Bom Metzia Davor. Yeah.
The first 5 went under the shaver.
She got, oh, I don't know. Why should it be a raya? Can sein. Okay, there's no muchach. The Rabbeinu Hananel, in the forward based, Rabbeinu Hananel explains what means minyan aroi poiter. He says, Kegoin, that he has 10 sheep in a deal, and he wants to meiser it. So he opens up a petach. The Asiri, so he got a secret. Now, till came out the 9, these 9, all of them, the minyan patters them. It says, the Afalpi, before he was Soiko Besikre, one of them, as we learned, Kofats, one of them, Mitoy Chadir, outside, but we say Kofats means from the Menuim. It says, Fakert, Kofats, Mitoy Chadir, the outside, and it got mixed up with the counted ones already. So the 9 became potter b'minyan aroi lemaisa, even though that it didn't come out after that the 10th one. Also sagt er. Also sagt der Rabbeinu Hananel. Now, wasn't Shataka. This is a little bit favos. Why the Asiri? No. Why the Asiri doesn't become male of Kodesh? The Sakra Beziko is not Me'akev. He had the way 10. What happened over here? What the Rabbeinu Hananel says? It's a very interesting story, this Rabbeinu Hananel. You have 10. Exactly 10. I counted 1, 2, 3, yeah? And now, all of them, I didn't count them yet. Jumped one out to the one that's counted already. All of them are potter. But why? Yeah, why? Why the Asiri should be Kodesh? Asiri is male of Kodesh. I have over here 10. Why? I have to exactly 10 should go through. I know that one of them, the Asiri is male. The Sikha is Me'akev. The Sikha is Me'akev. Sidach is Me'akev. Huh? No, it's not. He jumped out now. He's Keilu. Went out through the Pesach. What? You don't need to count. It's Me'akev. No. Oh, that's it. The Pesach Acher. When he jumped out, it's a Pesach Acher. That's a Pshat Rabbeinu Hananel. It's a Pesach Acher. He jumped out through a Pesach Acher, and a Pesach Acher is in a Parta. But the Rabbeinu Hananel is not mashmazik. The Rabbeinu Hananel says, "V'nisarev im hamenui." Why did he nisarev im hamenui? If the whole vote is Pesach Acher, he jumped out Pesach Acher, it's not counted. Why need to jump it min hamenui? Yeah, but if you tell you the Pesach Acher, if it was not misarev, you were bringing it back. You bring it back to the deal. You the one the Soika Basika, you think, yeah. Right, we said, and the Gemara by us we learned nicht as we learned that he had 14. The Gemara says, right, and 6 came out in one Pesach, and then 8 in a different Pesach. So we say that the 6 are part of San Minyan Aroi, and the 8 are mitzaref to a different goyim. So what do you see? A Minyan Aroi poiter, what went out in a Pesach, right? Oh, Pesach Acher, even when they didn't get mixed up. Okay. He had 10 sheep. He brings it into the deal, and he's counting 1, 2, and then he died. And the job that what's going to be the deal? Not the person, one of the sheep. Sorry, not the person. Yeah. No. The one that is counting. Yeah, his son can carry on, no? What we were talking was going to be then, yeah. The person is counting, and one of the ones that's counted dies. So he's mashlim on it, and he's mekadesh the Asiri, right? As we said, the Bryce in the New Testament base. If died one of the ones that's inside the deal, so the one that he counted till now is supposed to be called Minyan Aroi, and the ones inside the deal, he's going to have to mitzaref at a different goyim. Also, the Gemara over there in the New Testament base. If he had 14, as we said, so they went out from Pesach, again, Minyan Aroi, in all the cases of Minyan Aroi, Poiter, and 4 went out over here, 6 went out one Pesach, 8 went out the other Pesach, the first 6 are going to be Potter because Minyan Aroi, the 8 is going to be Mitzvah, a different Goyen, 6 from one Pesach, and then 4 from the second Pesach, and then the last, right, the 4 from the first Pesach, so the first 6 are going to be Potter. The last 4 are going to be Maisa Kedin. And the 4 that went out for the second Pesach, they're going to be Mitzvah, they're going to What the combination we can do, right? Is you go through the Gemara over there, anything. What if we had 19 tloim? 19 tloim inside the deal. And they went out over there in one Petach and 9 in the other Petach. So what's going to be the deal? Asiri Meilov, right? Because it's a deal, but all of the rest are going to be Potter. All the rest are going to be Potter. Yeah, before Gemara. Yeah, because Asiri day. The same thing also if we had 19 and he counted it in Zugos. So after went out 10, after went out 9 Zugos, that's the 10th one. So he's going to be Kodesh and all of the rest are going to be Potter. Yeah. What if Kofats Echo Min Amnuin into the deal? Echad min Amnuin, and they got mixed up, so you don't yet, they was not counted. All of them become potter. Why? Because on Suffolk, maybe the mono, maybe not, and all the fakers we said are part of the Maisa because we dash it as the Gemara says in Bamitzia, right? The Gemara Leasam in Monasoch is a Bar Chiyuve Shaper Kodesh, and if not Bar Chiyuve, it became part of a Minyan Ahoy. The Gemara Asiri Vadai, Velo Asiri Suffolk, and Rashi in Xaviat in Mayos and Nachman Chesed. This explains because Shemo Yotza Ptur, the Asiri, right? And he's not Roy because he became already Potter. Became already Potter, and that's why you know Mekadosh. What if Kofatz Echad Min HaMeusorim, the ones that were Gemaisot already? What's the thing then? So Kulom Iu Achi Stavu Vayochlu B'Muon Lebailim. Yeah? Or I'm not. Yeah? Okay. So, yeah. That's what that's a full Mishnah. Full Mishnah. Yeah. What about Kofatz Echad Min HaMeusorim into the deal? And it went out. It's mevatel the minion, and you start the minion from the beginning, and the one that comes after that, all of the ones before, and become part of a minion roy. Kopat Echad Min HaMeusorim into the deal, and it went out again. No, you don't know. So that's the Toys Rosh, but what we said, Vada, it's even Bittel Beroy, but it's not a Bittel Beroy because thing, right? It's going to help or not. If it's yes going to help or not going to help, as we said before. Okay, let's call the Polish more Polish. This is Dinerov, not Dinerov. Okay, just the last thing. There's still many things we didn't speak about. The Toast and Maisa, that's another many din what we have Toast and Maisa. But let's go about the last din what we spoke about, the big Machlokas Achronim, or we spoke about the Ariches, about the Shaile B'Maisa Be'imah. It helps Shaila Maisa Be'imah, it doesn't help Shaila Maisa Be'imah. So the Turei Even, Rosh Hashanah, Dav Chov Ches, Amud Beis says that it helps Shaila Maisa Be'imah. Like any other kotzim is Kodesh, Al Piv, he could be Shoyel. So he can be Shoyel. Minchas Chinuch, Mitzvah Shin Samach Ois Yudaled, says in Minchas Chinuch. Nire, says in Minchas Chinuch. Oshut, Shei Efshar Le'i Shoyel, because of the Maisa, because of Asiri, Meil of Kodesh. Also without is Amire. Yes, Amire, not Amire. So what's going to help him that he's going to think? Kodesh Meil of, what's going to help? Says in Chassinu that also the 9th one and the 11th one, right? Even though Alidei is Amire, when he called it Asiri, the 9th one he called Asiri, the 11th one he called Asiri, it's not going to help over Yeshayla. Why? Because it's on them Hegdesh and Afilu Betos. It was a self Nishkishayla, like, and Elp Nishkishayla is the Rambam says, he brings a raya from Tzmure. It's more help Nishka Shaila is the Rambam, right? The Rambam in the Torah in Perik Dalet Aloch Hazayim. Says the Rambam that it's not going to help Shaila legabe Tzmure. Because the Mishnah says that the same reason Tzmure Afilu Betos is Tzmure, and that's the reason. Like the Mishnah. So if something that Betos is not help Shaila, right? He made it the same Zach. The fig. Yeah. What's the pshat in the Turei Even? So the Afike Yam Mechelek Aleph Siyam Gimel explains the Turei Even. At Shaile, the Shaile is not on the Kriya Shem Asiri. Because the Meiser we need, as we said, that you have to have an Avore. The Avore has to be with the Kavod and the Shem Meiser. If he's counting without the Kavod and the Shem Meiser, it wouldn't be Kodesh. Toish is an Adorin, if you try on the base, Toish says that what? Meiser Be'im is Dovora Nodu. Even the Asiri Kodesh Meilov, Ober, we need the Avora Smini, and that means we need Ya'avirenu l'shem kach, says Toisves. It's a davar anodu. It's a davar anodu. And because it's a davar anodu, it depends on his mind. Mimele helped Shaila on his machshava l'shem meiser, and you could be oiker the minyan lemafreya. So he's like, Afikayam to explain the Turei Even. He says that feed them. Also the chi and achad also. What you don't better is going to help a Shaila. Why? Because the Shaila is not on the kriya shem asiri. It's on the minyan, and because the minyan you could be oiker lemafreya. Mimele it's not Shaila, not a chi, not asiri, not achad also. As I bring the right, and he brings more right from the Gemara in Lamed Aleph, if you remember, we do that. Also, yeah, because you need it. Once you've done a minyan, the minyan is done. There the Pesach, so that's a machlokes, the Rashash and the Chofetz Chaim. And the Kuta Alochas, we just mentioned.
Yeah, but then he's paid it.
Yeah. Oh, so what's going to be? Oh, very good. So what's going to be Pshat in Chasenuch? The Assyrian is not Kodesh Meilov, yeah? There is cases of Assyrian Kodesh Meilov, not always Assyrian Kodesh Meilov. But there is cases that we don't say Assyrian Kodesh Meilov. So why, right? Only B'Kri Hashem, yeah? Right? When he came, let's say, in a case when he called Assyri when it came out Miutoi, right? What we said the Tosis in tomorrow, what we mentioned 2 weeks ago, in the Chavavah base, we mentioned the Tosis in tomorrow, the last few words over there, right? So it's going to help Shaila if he the thing. Or it's going to help or not going to help? We could say, no. We could say that we don't need this das to be Mekadesh, to be Magdish. Just what? Alidei the minion, it's Kodesh Mimele. So if you count Bechoros, yeah, for example, he said he wanted to say, let's say Mamish Tois, let's say on a black sheep, and then it came out a white sheep. It's Miskadesh Asiri or not? Yes. Why? It's not worse than Chi and Hadasol. But the Philip Bechoros is going to be higher. What about, let's take it a little bit further, we're going to start there. What about if a person was Shoel on the Meister? Is Chayiv again to give Meister or not? So Nafika Yam says of that, and helps Shilas if he was Shoel on the Meister. He doesn't need to Meister again. Because all of them become Be'emin, Yanaro, Yipoiter. I'm saying Ainval. Oh, so he says over there, no, because Shilas and the Etzema minion, not the Kriya Shem Asiri. If we're going to be his Svore, so not the Kriya Shem Asiri, it's like Iterian, you may you mevad the Ganta minion, the Shilas, Oiker Lema Freya, Chochem, it's not like a Fore, or a Baal. The Gemara Zok Tachaze, like is Oiker Lema Freya. Okay, we never counted it as Shem Meises, so it's not Shaykh away, minion, Aroi, Poiter. You patterned me like Katchile. You patterned me like Katchile from the beginning. There was never a thing. Yeah, so no, there's some. No, there is cases that you don't say Asiri Kodesh Meilov. So we have more dinim of Toz B'Maiser. We have dinim of the Isur of Lo Yigoel and Lo Yimocher, the Isur Geula and Mechire. What we didn't keep over here in our thing, but Tzimmat Hashem, different Tomim, Shochut, of the Isur Mechire, Min Rabbanot, the Iraise, many din about the Isur Pidyon. You have to give maybe a different share for this because we're not going to be masking this week about the Isur of there's more. There's a Toz Meiser. There's about the Isur of Lo Yimocher, Lo Yigoel. What we learned in the Kol Psula Mugdoshim. The Isur Mechias Meiser is on the Moicher. The Lekech is also over or not? The Lekech is also over or not? So this is a big machlokes in the Achronim if the Lekech is also over, and the Pidyon if the Bailim or someone else's poide is also Chal Isur. There's a whole new thing what I definitely wanted to do because it's a little bit not in our Perek. It's not in our Perek. It's Chal. Yeah. We had Vlad and Tmuras Meister, Vlad Meister, Vlad Tmuras Meister. Vlad doesn't know the same. Asoy Koilam. The Gemara said that what? It's a mission in Tmura. It's not over here. The mission in Tmura of Chofalev. The Gemara said that they're called B'Kedushas Meiser. You know, marking them. Just what? You actually stavu. Vlad Amuseres. This we learned already now, right? Lo Yinak Min Amuseres. Or Meile. Okay. There's many more things to come and to do. We're gonna wanted to speak about a little bit of shlome for a bit of a hadron. Parshas Vayishlach. We spoke last year Parshas Vayishlach. If you remember the Meshech Chochma, beautiful Meshech Chochma. So we're gonna do a bit of a hadron. I want to speak out a bit. There's a beautiful Rashar Hirsch. Beautiful, mamish beautiful Rashar Hirsch in the end of Parshas Bechoros. I'm not going to be masking to say it now. It's going to take a bit long, but the idea is, he says, beautiful idea. Bechoros is the first one. Bechoros is the first one. The first one is Kodesh. Meiser Beime is the last one. The last one is also Kodesh. And it's not that the first is Kodesh and the last is Kodesh. Meiser Beime, it's each one. It's the Aleph, Beis, Gimel, Dalet, Hey, Vav, Zayin, Ches, Tes, Yud. Each one on the way is also Kodesh. Each one, the whole life of a person from the beginning, you start the Bikurim, the beginning, that's what we always understand, the Reishis Bikurim, the firstborn, the first Tvur, everything the first you have to give is the. not only that, it's the last. And it's not only the first and the last, it's also anything what's in between. The whole Masechet, from Bechoros till Masechet Ayin Shom, very, very nice shtickle. Aber, as we spoke last year, Parshas Vayishlach, we spoke about that Mincho, right? He gives a Mincho le'Esau. Yaakov is sending a Mincho le'Esau. What he's sending us. So Rashi says, Dor Acher, Min HaChulin, he gave Maisa. And from the Chulin, after he gave Maisa Beime, he gave the Esau. Brings the Remez Kuflamet Gimel, bring over there the bring it over here. He just came in time for the Siyam. Brings over there the I'll put it down over there. Says over there the Medrash Yalkut Shimoini, and the pshat is, what's the pshat? He says the pshat is that he gave Maisa Beime, and the Maisa Beime itself, he gave the Esau. And we answer the pshat. So the Masechet explained that that's the Machlokes, Rabbi Akiva and Chachomim, Chutzlaretz, not Chutzlaretz. We wanted to explain also the feed of Reb Chaim. Reb Chaim and Maisa Beime, Perek Aleph Halacha Yudayu, that Reb Chaim says, Bechoros Chutzlaretz is Kodesh, aber leochel bemumoy. Not like Kovetz. Kodesh, not like Kovetz. What's the pshat? The Rambam, the old Girsa, the new Girsa, and the Shafsei Frankel, that's what they fixed it. But in the old Girsa, it says the Ochel Bemumoy, and the Raivet, fact of them. And the Raivet saying the same thing. Says the Reb Chaim, what's the Machlokes the Rambam and the Raivet? We spend a lot of time on that. The Rambam says that's what Reb Chaim explains. That there's a Chakira. The Bechor that was born in Chutzlaretz, it's Kodesh, but you can't be Maki. The pshat is a sort nishkin dushas hakove bechlal. So that dushas hakove you can't be Maki. So the Rambam says it's chulin gemuri klapi da hakove. And we bought lots of different rayas that you can be mati lemumen. If so that dushas hakove just says you can't be Maki, so you still have a reason or mati lemumen kochi. But lefin Rambam that's the Raivet. The way the Reb Chaim understand. But lefin Reb Chaim, the way in the Rambam that there's no dushas hakove bechlal. There's no isur mati mekochim. Right, as we said, many rights. So the Pidem want to say that there was born in Chutzlaretz. He was born in Chutzlaretz. So if in Rambam, Fakert, give it to the guy. It shouldn't be because he wants to say legabi takolet. So Fakert, you can come and give it because there's no Yusakove and no takolet here because you can give it to a makri and a makri. So no problem to give it also to a guy. So what about just a small idea about the idea of Maisa and Chutzlaretz? It depends on the Mokim Leida or on the Maisa. So he's mentioned that Lefi Rab Shimon, Tzmure, Daf Chof Aleph, Amud Aleph, it says Maisa Chutzlaretz, he doesn't have to bring it, Ober Imbo Temimim Ikovu. As I had Rab Shimon. It doesn't depend on Shas Leida, it doesn't depend on the Chalois Kedusha, where you're Magdish. And I feel Lefi Rab Akiva, so there's a suffix, the Minchas Chinuch and the Chazon Ish. If it depends on the Leida, where it was born, that means because the Rab Akiva, we learned out of the Hekesh. What's the Hekesh? We learned the Hekesh, Maisa Beima, the Maisa Dogon. So the Din is Chiyuv Maisa, and it depends also doing the Maisa Dogon, that depends on the Gidul Dogon. Ober Lefi Rab Shimon, as we learned out from the Pasuk, Rak Kodoshecho, right? Asher Iye Lecho. We learned out from the Pasuk. And this Pasuk state that the Chiyuv comes from Kodshe Chutzlaretz, and not Maisa and Bechor. Right? You remind, Rak Kodshecho, Davke, other Kodshim, and Maisa and Bechor come from Chutzlaretz not. His Tosis brings it in Tmure, Daf Chof Aleph from base, in the Sifri. So this is Mistaba, that if it's Chal on the Magdusha and Chutzlaretz, it's Kodshe Chutzlaretz. So everything depends on what? And the place. Where's the Chalois Gdusha? Rak Kodshecho, right? You remind. The Sifri, the Tosis brings the Sifri, Rak Kodshecho, and you remind, Bechor Meister is not part of the Rak Kodshecho. So everything depends on the Chalois Gdusha. Where's the Chalois Gdusha? It's a Mechatesa that should be told in the later. The Shittim Kubetzes in Bobekame Daf Yud Beis Amud Beis. The Shittim Kubetzes brings the Shem Talmidei Arav Reb Yisrael. He brings the Shittim Kubetzes. He says that there's a suffix in Kodshe Chutzlaretz Lefi Rab Shimon. If he had Kodshe Chutzlaretz and he was Malet Eretz Yisrael, if he chayev to bring it to Beis Hamikdash, only from Chutzlaretz he doesn't have to bring, right? To bring it. Or also if he brought it to Eretz Yisrael, there's no chiyuv havoy because Bechor Meiser Chutzlaretz. There's no chiyuv havoy. So the first study says that what is only no chiyuv havoy. There's no chiyuv to bring from Chutzlaretz. It's not because the kochim are kochi Chutzlaretz. Just what There's no chiyavoy from chutz loretz. It doesn't depend on the mokum hekdesh. That's what. As long as a day in chutz loretz, there's no chiyavoy. There's no chiyavoy. It's not where it is. It's no chiyavoy. Or if he damns, it could be that Rabbi Akiva also goes the chumrah. Why? Because if we say that it depends on the lady, Kochina were born in Eretz Yisrael and they gave the Meiser and Chutzlot. Take it out and give the Meiser and Chutzlot. What's going to be the deal? So it's going to be a Chiyuv Avoy in the Chayr Lefi Rabbi Akiva. Rabbi Akiva had to the Drosha Rak Kotshecho. So yeah, so it's going to be the Chayr Lefi Rabbi Akiva. It's going to be a Chumrah. It's going to have to bring it as to be Malet as a thing. Fine. I go to Shekoyach. We're going to do now the Siyam, the Dor Halon. Okay. You want to do it now or? Huh? Okay, so. Huh? We have to learn it again one day. What they missed out. What we missed out. Oh. Adon Haloch Masechet Bechoros, Adon Halon. Adon Haloch Masechet Bechoros, Adon Haloch. Nishtat Yenon Masechet Bechoros, Nishtat Yenon. Lo Be'al Modein, Lo Be'al Modeose. Use any. I'm using a tool. It doesn't have to say that for the thing. Use any. Yeah, you have it? You could use any. You lose the last one. Okay. Adon Haloch Masechet Bechoros, Adon Halon. Adon Haloch Masechet Bechoros, Adon Haloch. Nishtat Yenon Masechet Bechoros, Nishtat Yenon. Lo Be'al Modein, Lo Be'al Modeose. Adon Haloch Masechet Bechoros, Adon Halon. Adon Haloch Masechet Bechoros, Adon Halon. Nishtat Yenon Masechet Bechoros, Nishtat Yenon. Lo Be'al Modein, Lo Be'al Modeose. יראות לפניך דינוי לעין ולהביסין שתאר את ראש פורסי ואין למעשה לא ילמה בו חנינה בפופה רומי בפופה אנחנו בפופה חוי בפופה אבומורי בפופה רחו בפופה רוחי בפופה סוחו בפופה עדו בפופה ודור בפופה ערב דעת דינוי לעין וזיו יצרס ואפינו פיוס עמך ישראל וניע כולנו אנחנו ציינו את זה עמך ישראל כולנו דידי ישמחו לא ידי זרזו ואוהב את תחכמינו וצזכו כי לא ילום אילי במתום יחוקך ולמען לא יבש לא ילום לאשכח וכדוך כבום חיוסני ברוך אתה דינוי למדינו חוקך אומינו אומינו מיצא לבויל מוילים אנחנו לפניך דינוי לעין ולהביסין ששם תחכנו ויש ושמדר שלא ישם תחכנו ויש עקרון שאנו משכים ואין משכים אנו משכים ידי תירה ואין משכים ידועים בתהילים אנו המילים ואין המילים ואין המילים וכם לסחר ואין המילים ואין וכם לסחר אנו רוצים ואין רוצים אנו רוצים לחי ולמבוא ואין רוצים לבאר שחס שנאמר ואתו אלוהים תגידו לבאר שחס אנשי דום יאמרו לחצי ימי ואני אפתח בוך ירוצים לפניך דינוי ליראי כשם שדתני לסיים מסכת בחוירס כן תעזרי לאתכם מסכת הספרים אחרים לסיים ללמוד ולעם לשמור לעשי סיכאים לסקוד דברי טעם ותלכו ואהבו זכוס כרת הנוי והמוירוי ותמיד החכם יהיה מודיעים לזרי שלטוב שתירו יפי ובי זרי זרי ידוי קיים בי ויסלח אותנו כבר עשר ושוב וחצי שמר לך ונמצא שתסכך וכבי ירבו יומך ויסיבו לפות שניים חיים ערך יום בימינו ושמאל ויתו לחוי לדינוי יזם ידין לדינוי ירום ושמח שלוי הוא עשה קדיש לחיים שכח everyone
שכח
Maldo Percy Maldo Monty